part about the car so far?
It drives really well for a modified car. Quiet on the inside, which is pretty rare for these type of cars. And probably my least favorite thing is the tire size. It needs bigger tires for sure. 26s are not going to cut it on this thing.
Dang.
It's a suicide machine right now.
What wheels you thinking? Or you haven't even checked yet?
I haven't even really checked because I got to see what's going to clear. I need some of my CTSV V3 guys to talk to me about that, because this car's all new to me. You know, I can pretty much tell you on these cars.
Yeah.
I know for sure we're going to do coilovers because I don't feel any suspension squat, which it may not squat because it can't even try to grab right now.
Yeah, traction is pretty much non-existent.
Other than that, we're working the black car's motor. Should be here very soon. And you don't see this, there's nothing here.
Oh man. Okay.
So
well, now the motor's gone.
Those are definitely not going to be mounted on the front facing each other. Because I decided to do that instead of pro charging, because I don't see us having enough room in the nose of the car to run that, a front mount pro charger and a radiator. It's going to be the problem. And you know, really the front mount pro charger needs air coming straight from the front. So I'm thinking side mount a set of turbos. This one I'm just using for size. This is just a junk turbo I had laying around. I got 2 of them over there. But.
Junk turbo? Guys, I think I can come in here and build me a Mopar from parts. Nah, that's gonna be
And then Blackie's still sitting there looking sad, waiting for the next owner.
We need somebody to buy it.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, this car is for sale. We got a video that kind of made it big on all the info on the car, and then we definitely
a TKM 412. It's got a simple trans, a Rev Max bolt together converter that they don't even make anymore, which was not cheap. A custom ice box in the rear. It's set up to where you could run turbos again if you wanted to. You see right there in the dash here, there's the boost controller is right there. But it is supercharged. You got 3-liter Whipple on it. It's got IDI 1700s in it right now. The weld wheels go with it, which, you know, are nice. And, you know, it's got coilovers, a 9-inch conversion in the rear. Good drive shaft that I haven't broken yet, so we'll have to see. It's set up to where they can run nitrous if they want to, but I have never hooked it up to this car because honestly this one was kind of my average drag car instead of being like the Charger where we're doing crazy stuff all the time. So
yeah, this thing has nitrous.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. And the controller and all is in the cabin, but it's not hooked up. So, and it's got an inner chiller on it. Keep the intake air temperature nice and cool. And other than that, it's a good car. I just don't need it anymore since I got that one. So,
the drag pack's been fun.
Yes, it has. And it's been, I mean, we've had trouble out of it, don't get me wrong, but not like we had out of this one. When this started, this was back in 17. There was nobody really modifying the snot out of Hellcats back then. The first heavyweight event we went to, we ran a 939 and we were in the top of the class at that point.
Dang.
The second one we went to, we ran 870s and we were in the top of the class. And now, if you're not running 750s, 740s, 730s,
don't even show
or
up.
you're capable of running that, you can show up, but you better hope the other guys break. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to roll the dice and hope that, you know, I don't face off one of those cars. And that's not what racing's about anyway. Everybody's like, well, I don't want in the class if I don't win. Well, how do you better yourself if you're not going against people that are better than you are? That's the real question. Because that's where I met some of my best friends, like Chris. Me and Chris went to the finals together a couple of years ago. And I knew Chris's car was faster than what I had, but he almost messed up. If I'd have had my nitrous turned on, I'd have got Chris that day. And that was in Greg
Oh, with the purple car?
Yeah, the little purple car. And so there's always a chance you can win. So why not just show up and race? Are we in it to make money? If anybody tells you they're a racer and they became a millionaire being a racer, they were probably a billionaire to start with. So
Going down.
Yeah, they're definitely going downhill.
Non-stop.
Yes, the only reason we did it is we made our living off of racing and enjoying it, and now we get to talk about it to guys that don't know anything about it. Got a bunch of guys that are asking what we do for a living now, which is hilarious to me. So, I'm so happy that people want to know that, because it shows that young people are taking the initiative to learn something.
Yeah.
And they look at somebody and they want to be better. And in order to afford one of these cars, it's not gonna be a 9-to-5 type deal, and you have a house and your kids and everything else. I've been fortunate enough that I haven't had kids. I have several houses, and we've just been extremely fortunate, and we'll be moving here shortly. We've already got most of our stuff moved. Haven't moved the cars yet, as you can tell. Except some of them have already moved, but not all of them.
You let me know when you're moving.
Here you go.
I'll move the vet.
Okay, we'll let you move the vet.
I'll move the vet in
I
reverse.
trust you.
In reverse. Only, right?
Nah.
Tune out all the gears. Just leave me on first.
We'll just take the belt off the pulley over there.
Like, Lucas, this thing is freaking. It's
a
revving
turd.
to 8,000. What's going on? So on the vet, anything new on the vet?
Not
What's
really.
Up?
We need to put the chiller on it. I haven't got around to it because I'm waiting on the supercharger for the Coco, and I want to put this in the other shop before I tear it back apart.
Okay. What major thing are we doing on this besides that? Just that's it?
That's really all. We're going to do a 4L80 conversion on it, but I want to get the inner chiller working on it. Not too many steps at one time, because what I've noticed about doing that in the years that I've done this is if you take huge steps and okay, well, I'm just going to rebuild the car. Well, then if there's a problem, you don't know where to start. Well, is it the tune? Is it something that I added? Is it the ice box? Is it a relay? Is it, you don't ever know, and then you start fighting yourself, basically, and that can be a problem. So.
That's pretty small.
Yeah, that's my father and I learned that on this car, is don't change too much at one time. Change a few things at a time. Now, if you're going to be in the motor, go ahead and build the motor. Don't put just a built motor and have to come back and change the heads 10 minutes later. But if it's something that you can wait on, I don't mind adding an ice box and all that, which this car's already set up that way.
Yeah.
So if all I have to do is pull this fender back off and reroute the two lines that come into the ProCharger intercooler. One of the lines needs to run straight into the intercooler, or inner chiller is what it's going to be, and then it'll run from there back to the ice box through the ProCharger stuff and all that. So it will. Basically, you'll have your line that comes out of the ProCharger box into the inner chiller, and then from the inner chiller to there, and then back to the ProCharger box.
Where does it connect to the AC though?
It's on Kurt's kit. It just tees into the line, basically. It's all plug and play kit. So he does really good. And another thing, we got to thank some people on the Cadillac. So we got to thank Jay Hodge Chevrolet over in Sulphur Springs, Texas, and Michael Shirley and Bill Owens and all their folks over there that always make stuff happen for us. And then we also need to thank Henry Ventura of Ventura Auto down in Galveston, Texas, because I've watched him for quite some time on CTSVs, and finally this one showed up, and I noticed it had a built motor, and he was straight up honest, didn't try anything dumb, and we made everything happen. And I drove down there, literally from the time I set foot in his shop to the time I left was probably no more than 30 minutes. So, and that's because we BS for a while.
Yeah.
So, he drove the car, and showed me some of what it could do, and it did about like it did out here. It's really loose.
Swirly.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, he's like, how much power? You know, and I'm like, it's making a solid 859. You know, yeah, at least. You know, this car here hooks good, and then the other car.
Yeah, we need some
I
tires
need
like
that
that.
on that. So
I mean, I think you could do a 15-inch conversion, but
I'm going to do a 15-inch.
that's gonna be, it's gonna be a little tire.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be like this.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do because the fenders aren't far from it. Like the fender is pretty close to the tire. Yeah, they're fat, a little bit fatter.
A little bit. Dang. No, this thing's gonna be nice.
I think once we get to turbos, I can control it even on a 26. You know, those cars there aren't that much different, the F-bodies.
The F-bodies?
You know, they have a smaller tire where the Hellcats, we run like a 30.
Yeah, and the Blackie. Stick it out. But that's because that's for a wide body, right?
Yeah, that's it. And then Blackie's is a wide body, but also because it's got coilovers on it, which is what I'm thinking that car is going to need, so we can raise the back up a little bit as we go up in tire size. But there is a trade-off because as you come up, you transfer more weight to the front. If you have coilovers and they're properly set up, though, theoretically it doesn't matter.
Because it'll just...
Yeah, it'll just squat them down
Yeah.
and do what it needs to do. It's all in your spring. So John Reed is probably the man on that stuff, especially on Hellcats. He knows his stuff. And you know, this car, I think it's on 28s right now. But originally these cars were 26s, just like the CTS-V is there. And you can tell I'm gonna have to go down in tire size here because we're gonna rub otherwise. Especially if the car does, you know, what this car should do, which is...
Oh, I haven't actually seen this one on the floor. What?
So, yeah, if it actually squats, and this is, you know, with like 220 on the back of it right now. So, imagine with all the force of cars, it's going to be a wheelie car, is what it's going to be.
Yes.
So,
Do not put a wheelie bar in the back, Lucas.
it's wheelie bars right
I am going to unedit all the videos.
Yeah, so I bought this car with wheelie bars, and I've had them since
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, this car is gonna be something else. Can't wait.
Probably the fastest car in the shop.
Really?
It's gonna beat the Vet.
No
Yeah,
way.
no doubt.
It's gonna be lighter.
For sure. By about 700 or 800 pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's gonna be lighter.
I'm gonna say this thing fully equipped is gonna weigh about 2,500. So, because right now it weighs right around I think 1670.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing in it right
Yeah.
now. You know, there's just it's on E right now. There's nothing in it. But it's okay. We'll make you back.
Soon. And what's the what do you think timeline on this thing is now?
Hopefully, if I get the engine next week, I can get the motor plates put in the following week. Well, we need the copo out of the other shop because I'm gonna have to TIG weld some stuff in, and then hopefully, if Taylor doesn't have time to do it, I'll build a turbo kit. I don't really want to, but I will. But we have a laser welder coming for that.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Watch
You know,
that get built.
I used to weld quite a bit at my previous employment, and well, before my when I worked for somebody else, I'll put it that way. I could TIG weld pretty well, and stainless steel is pretty easy to do as long as you purge it correctly. So I can do it. I just don't like to do it. So I don't like having to stay leaned over on something or whatever. And Taylor's probably the best guy in the industry I know. You know, he's a small town guy, and he's quiet and everything. But
Mr. Wheelie King.
yeah, the Mr. 20 yards is how long my motors last. You know?
Yeah.
He's probably putting another junkyard 5.3 in his stuff right now, but he's my hero because of that.
Freaking Taylor, man.
Yeah, sometimes Sometimes you live your life a quarter mile at a time. Sometimes it's 20 feet. Hey guys, if you guys enjoy this type of content of all the cars in our shop, please drop us a follow.